We did start the vineyard 9 years ago. I suspect the reason I went into it is because of my Italian heritage, for one, besides the fact that I had raised grapes in my yard back home, and also in A Touch of Nature when I was directing the center out there. So we struggled hard as hell to get a vineyard into operations, and it turned out pretty well. And to our amazement, the grapes were everything we expected, even more. So we knew we were on the right track, and we thought we'd go ahead and start laying the groundwork for building the winery. First of all, we talked to the the village fathers here, and we didn't have too much encouragement because the town had been dry by referendum ever since Prohibition and thereafter.
There was a concern that if the law was changed to permit the sale of alcohol of any kind, that it would lead from a winery to a downtown bar, and to another bar, and another bar, and another bar, and that was something that people were very frightened of.
The city fathers got together and they decided they still wanted to preserve pretty much what they've always had, so they decided to write an ordinance, and all they permitted under this ordinance was one liquor license, and they would grant us that liquor license, and that's all, no others. So by last of July '88, we were ready to go in this winery, and just in time to make our first batch.
From the latter part of summer in August through most of September, we'll be harvesting the grapes. Now with a red wine, we do it a little different. We won't press right away after we crush and stem the grapes. We'll take them on their skins, the seeds and the stems, put them into open vats and ferment them for a period of between 4 to 6 days. After they've fermented, we'll take them and then press them out. Once they're pressed in, we pump them into our tanks, which are in the winery here. Once they're in the vats, either wood or stainless steel, it's basically just letting the wine develop itself. And a lot of it depends on the grape and the style of wine that we want to make. That helps us determine when we want to bottle it. There's 5 bottles basically per gallon. So if we end up with about 3,500 gallons, that comes out to about 17,500 bottles. So that's a pretty good number of bottles. But again, we're in comparison to wineries in Missouri and Midwestern wineries, we're still very, very small. In California, of course, we're tiny compared to them.
I think they're finding out that there's 2 of our varieties, especially the Chambourcine and the Vignoles, that make wines that will stack up with California wines, European wines, and the Vinefras, or the top quality wines. I very much hope for them. This area is just made, the soil is perfect. It's got a lot to speak for itself. It's got a beautiful climate, nice hills and high level, and there's always a wind blowing up here. Besides, we're blessed by the cross.
Another good harvest.
Another good year, excellent year. The support of the community that we've been getting. We have an optimistic feeling that it's going to go well. We're not a bit worried that
Camera to pick up this one.
so if we do, we might even consider expanding.
It has come. It's come.
That sounds good for me.
That is the nectar of the gods. Ambrosia.